Hello guys, how are you today? Hopefully you are okay. Let's make our today's grammar lesson for Unit 7. To share screen with you. My screen, yeah, our topic today will be in Unit 7 will be two grammar topics again. One of them is grammar verbs, direct and indirect objects. I think there is no other, and the unit's title is communication. So with the direct and indirect objects in the sentence, you have your subject, and of course the subject will have a verb. So after that, there is one indirect and one direct object with especially certain sentences, not all sentences, but some sentences. And you need to know which one is direct and which one is indirect. You can use them, switch their place. It's not very important all the time, so it doesn't have to be. Like, for example, first one. My screen is on, hopefully share with you. Yeah. First one, so say example, I sent Mike an email. You can say instead, I sent an email to Mike. So, or you can say, I sent to Mike, or I just sent Mike an email. So actually it means I sent to Mike an email, but to is disappearing here. You don't have to. So you just say, I sent Mike an email. Or you say, I sent an email to Mike. But this then you need to. You cannot omit. You cannot drop to if you put indirect object in the end. So for example, as I said, let's go with the same example. Sharing my screen with you. I sent Mike an email. We can say I sent an email to Mike. You can drop to here. You don't need it. Sorry, you need here. Excuse me. So you need to here, but you don't need it here. So you can just drop it. I sent Mike an email. I sent an email to Mike. And with other examples, connection is a bit slow. My parents bought me a BlackBerry. You can say my parents bought a BlackBerry for me or to me. But you need a preposition all the time. I wrote Helen a text message. I wrote a text message to Helen. For Helen, to Helen. Depends what you want to say. Find me his number, please. Find his number to me, for me, please. I faxed him the diagram. I faxed the diagram to him. Give me a call. Give a call to me. But it's not used much. In this example, last one especially, it's not common. You don't say that one because it's very settled and fixed sentence. You always use give me a call. You don't say give a call to me. It's not really common. So you just use give me a call. So here in these examples, you can see that there is subject, verb, and then you have indirect object and direct object. Direct object is the object that is the verb is, and the action in the verb is affected. So I sent the direct object answers the question of what. What did I send Mike? What did I send to Mike? An email. So with the direct object, it should answer your question for what. And with the indirect object, it should answer your question of who. Actually, to who or to whom. So it should give you the answer of who. who indirectly is affected by this action. So I sent an email to Mike, and the Mike is, so you can ask who I send an email, to whom I send an email, to whom I send an email, then it will be Mike. So the questions will be, what did I send to Mike? I sent an email to Mike. I hope my screen is not with you. Sorry, I will write it down again. So the question, what did I send to Mike? This is the past tense. The last time I showed you past tense to Mike. The question is in past tense. So you can answer or what did I send to Mike? The answer is I sent an email to Mike, or I sent Mike an email. One of them. And this is for direct objects. Direct later. Direct objects. And then with indirect objects, you have another thing. You can say who. It should answer who. So this one answers what? This one answers who. Who actually it is to whom did I send an email? This is instead of who, you say to whom, because it is used with the proposition. This one is proposition. When you start this question, WH question with proposition, you use to whom or to which, this kind of things. Just remember it's to whom rather than just who. Who did I send an email? You can say it in oral language. In speaking, it's fine, but in writing, you need to say to whom. It's more formal. It's better. But these days, they also use who I send. It's also fine. You can use it. I will accept both if we have it in the exam. So the indirect object answers the question of who or to whom. And this is it about this grammar. So it's either I, you, we, he, she, it doesn't really matter. It's the same structure you have to use for indirect object. So the answer will be, sorry, let me give you the answer. I sent an email to Mike. I sent Mike an email. So the first one, actually, with direct object, you are answering this one. Your answer is this and this. And with the second one, to whom or to who did I send the email, is to Mike. As you can see, for to whom, you need to Mike. This is the answer. And then, who did I send an email? I sent Mike an email. So that's it for the topic, or for this grammar topic. And let's do the second part of our grammar. And here, This one. The grammar is linking verbs. Linking verbs. Let me share it with you. Okay, so linking verbs is some verb. There are some verbs that you use in simple present tense or simple past tense most of the time, and they are defining something that defining like an adjective, as defining a situation or something with an adjective, and they are not, you don't use them in continuous tense. Usually you use them in present tense, simple tense, simple present or simple past. So for example, the food smells delicious. So this is, the food is singular, and then it's simple present tense, smells delicious. But you don't say the food is smelling delicious because it's not used in present continuous tense. It's used only in simple present tense, because simple present tense makes sense when you say the food is smelling delicious. It means it's a process, and with the progression you don't use it. If the food smells good, it means it's always a food which will smell always good, not just for a period of time. It will be always smelling good. So, and then it feels soft. It feels soft. If, for example, you have a pillow and soft, it's always soft, so it feels soft. Or a fabric or something, it feels soft. You look cold. You look cold. So you are not a friendly person, it means. And because it's you don't make it looks. You don't say looks because it's you. It's not he, she, it. So it tastes salty. It tastes salty. Once something is salty, you cannot change the taste until you put some water or add something else to make it less salty. It will always be salty. So it will taste salty. It will taste salty. It tastes salty. He sounds tired. These are like he, she, it. Most of the time they are used. That's why you see the S at the end of the verb. But you can, depending on the subject, if it's I, you, we, they, you don't need to put S. And as you can see, there are subject and a verb and then adjective. So, and then adjective is just defining the subject. And if they were past tense, simple past tense, you could say this, the food smelled delicious. Yesterday or last night, I was with my friends at dinner and the food smelled delicious. That's possible, you can say. It felt soft. So you can say it felt soft, but it's something that is in past, not anymore. You don't have information if it's still like that or not. Then you say you looked cold. You are usually a very friendly person, but yesterday you looked very cold, for example. It tastes salty. Every day you cook very nice, but your last food was very salty. It tasted very salty. So tasted, you can make it past tense. And then finally, he sounds tired, and then you can say, I saw him yesterday. He sounded very tired. He sounded tired. So it is, as you can say, here there are notes, verbs of the senses. These are senses. You feel it, you hear it, you see it, or you feel it with your senses. So look means you see it. Taste means you taste with your mouth, and sound means you hear it. And then smell, you can smell it from your nose. Excuse me. So these are the senses, five senses of human. So they are not action verbs. So you don't, it's not an action verb like I ran, I run away, I am running. I run, I am running, or I ran. So I am singing, for example. It's not an action. You don't do an action. They are very still verbs. The action is passive. And here, they are usually followed by an adjective. Yes, they are usually followed by an adjective. The food smells delicious. The food smells dirty. The food smells stinky. Something like that. They are not used in the simple progressive tense. This is what I told you. It's not in simple present, present continuous tense. You won't use it like the food is smelling delicious. You wouldn't say it. Only in present simple tense or past or even simple perfect tense, but just simple tense. So that's it about our class today about grammar. I hope you understand and enjoy it. Please don't hesitate to ask me questions if you have any. Have a nice day. Bye.